Is there an association between birth type, presence of musculoskeletal or breastfeeding complaint in the neonate or newborn? The aim of this study is to gain a more detailed understanding of specific birth interventions in infants with specific musculoskeletal problems and identify any association. That sounds like a great idea. The researchers looked at an interprofessional breastfeeding clinic. So they wanted to see was associations between specific birth types, feeding difficulties, and musculoskeletal complaints. Of the 301 infants that presented to this clinic, 83% of these children had intervention at birth. 83%. The most common complaints the families have are difficult attachment, pain during feeding, and unilateral feeding preference. Most common areas of involvement were the thoracic spine, the cervical spine, and the SCM muscle. To get specific, any intervention at all increased the rates of baby being unsettled, as they called it. And this can be any intervention, vacuum, induction, C-section, anything at all, any intervention increased the risk of baby being unsettled by 62%. Induction increased the rate of specifically the cervical spine involvement by 86%. Emergency C-section had a 71% increased rate of both baby being unsettled during feeding and an upper cervical and a cervical involvement. Venthouse birth, aka vacuum extraction, increased the thoracic spine involvement by 34% and unsettled feeding by 38%. Now, the forceps increased the risk of difficulty attaching to the breast by 49%, almost half, and cervical and spine involvement by 30%. So it's pretty clear that the significantly increased rates of musculoskeletal involvement of difficulty breastfeeding, depending on the type of intervention. So the authors say, given these musculoskeletal problems, it may be appropriate that chiropractic care forms part of these infants' health care. Yeah, I'd agree with that. They conclude, infants who undergo assisted birth experience multiple feeding difficulties and multiple areas of musculoskeletal complaint. Forceps and emergency C-section deliveries appear to pose additional risk, and it may be appropriate that chiropractic care is part of routine assessment for these infants.